Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over how to create an Amazon listing in 2020. So stick around, we're going to be going over all the details super in depth. Let's get into it. So all I've done so far is I've clicked on catalog and then I've clicked add products, and that'll bring you to this page. So you're going to see Seller Central, catalog, add products. And now what we're going to be doing, since this is private label and we want to actually create our own product listing, is we're going to click I'm adding a product not sold on Amazon. Because if you search there, you're just going to be listing under somebody else's listing, right? So say you had an HP printer brand new in the box and you wanted to arbitrage that. You got it for 50% off and you were going to resell it. You would just search for that listing there and you would list it on HP's existing listing. But what we're doing as private labelers is actually taking generic products, making them our own, and then trying to rank our own listings, right? So that we actually own the listing and we're the only one that can sell on that listing if you have a brand that's registered like I do. So anyway, catalog, selected product, and then what you're going to do is we're actually going to be mimicking the process that I took. So it's this exact process to create one of my own product listings. So we go to Amazon. So jungle theme party supplies. So what we're going to be doing is creating a listing for pretending that we're launching this product here, jungle theme party supplies. Now all we're going to be doing is finding the keyword phrases that are crucial for building the listing. It's the first thing that you should be concerned with, because Amazon's a search engine, right? So Amazon's going to be indexing or ranking or placing these listings here based on what they know that product is. And how they know that product is what it is by the keywords in that listing. There, of course, will be sales too, but in the beginning, before any of the sales ranking, it will just be solely based on your keywords. So for instance, you notice in this market, all these listings, well, all the good ones are doing this correctly. Jungle theme party supplies is the first thing in their title. So generally what I'll do, and Helium 10 has made this super easy, is I'll actually take the #1 best competitor who's ranked organically for the search term that I know that I'm creating a listing for. So guys, this will work for anything. Don't think this is just this. I'm using this as an example because of course we need one example to build this. But if you have a car product or a home and kitchen or a kitchen and dining or a tool, doesn't matter. This process will be the same. So you're going to find your #1 competitor and you're going to click on their listing. And when I say #1 competitor, most similar to your product and also ranked highest on page 1 organically. Because we know they're doing something right, okay? They have good sales and they also are ranked really well. Amazon knows what they are. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take their ASIN right there. So we know this listing's doing well. It's someone we want to model after. And we're going to go to Helium 10 and we're going to open Cerebro. If you guys don't have Helium 10, you can try and make do with the software that you do have. But if you really want to follow along to this video specifically, I suggest you get it. And I do have a link right in the description for a discount for this software, so you don't have to pay full price. We're going to put their ASIN right here in Cerebro. What this is going to do is it's going to show us all of the keywords that this listing is ranking for. So I guess there will be a few hundred or a few thousand, hopefully. And we'll see that right now. So yeah, 5,000 phrases. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean it up a little bit so we know we're looking at the most important things, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a minimum search volume of 500. Just so we see the more popular search terms and probably where they're getting a majority of their sales. And then we're going to go organic rank, top 1 through 50. So they're on page 1. Page 1 generally has about 50 listings. We're organically ranked in spot 1 through 50 for this keyword. Word count is fine, even if it's long, that's okay, because we have the search volume here. And then go organic, and we could hit apply, and you'll notice that 5.8K dropped down to just about 40 keywords. So these are the main keywords that we would be trying to index for. So you can see jungle theme party supplies has 9,000, and then there's all these related ones here. The reason that we're getting this down to only about 40, you would think that, the more the better. Really, you want, yes, more, but targeted and precise keywords. You don't just want a ton of, 5,000 different possibilities. You'd be better off really driving down on a few specific, keywords and building your listing really niche specific so that Amazon knows exactly what your listing is and exactly where it should be ranked on Amazon. Cool, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna come up here to this export tab. So you can see that right there. I'm gonna go export, and then we're gonna actually go to Frankenstein. So it's another tool by Helium 10, it's an awesome tool. What it is, it's a keyword processor. So then we have all of our 40 phrases dropped in here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do maintain phrases. And we are going to take all of these, and what we could do is one phrase per line. So that's one word / phrase per line. We're gonna take all of these guys, and we're gonna go ahead and pop back over to, well, not back over, we haven't opened it yet. We're gonna open up Scribbles now. So Scribbles is actually a really cool tool by Helium 10. Again, these are all just over here on the sidebar. And we're gonna be combining a bunch of these tools to ultimately create our listing. So we're gonna put all those phrases in here. And then what that does is it gives us a keyword bank. You remember like in elementary school when you had one of these? And you have to make paragraphs based off of the keywords. It's exactly what this is doing here. So it's showing us all of the most used words and most used phrases in these phrases that we just dropped in, so that as we're writing these, they'll actually get highlighted and they'll get dropped out. Now we only have about 30 words here and 40 phrases. That's probably a little low. I might even come back in here and I might allow anything over, say, like 250, and then let's see, we go from 400 to 265. I might redo it with that, but just for the sake of the video, so we're not trying to cross out a lot of these, we'll just use this shorter list here. But I would aim for, again, very niche specific keywords, not too broad, maybe targeting a couple hundred keywords max. Then we're gonna come over to the title, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna start writing this out based on what our most used words are. So then for that, we're gonna go back over to Frankenstein, our keyword processor. And guys, you should be doing this in different tabs so it doesn't keep deleting it like what I just did there, being silly. So again, let's try this again, but let's do it the right way. So we'll go to Frankenstein, and then this one is gonna be Scribbles. So we'll go like this and open that in a new tab. Perfect. So now we have Cerebro, Frankenstein, and Scribbles open. So from here, we're gonna do is include word frequency count, and then you're going to remove common words, and then you're gonna sort by frequency. Perfect. So now what we have here is we have the most used words out of all those words we just did. You can see party shows up 104 times, decorations 59, green 52, balloons 48, and so on. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take our knowledge of these and we're gonna build our title with this, because you want the most searched keywords. What you should be doing as well is looking at the most searched phrases here. Check this out. So we'll sort like this. Jungle theme party supplies is the niche specific phrase that we want to rank for. Make sure that the most searched phrase is the beginning of your title. Don't put your brand name there. Don't put 150 pack. Put the most searched phrase at the beginning of your title. So here we see, green balloons is the most searched phrase, but it's not as relevant as jungle theme party supplies. So that's obviously going to be the first part of our title. So we're going to put in jungle theme party supplies. You could do a dash. You could also do a bar. We'll go with a bar for now. You could test multiple different ways. I'll usually do the bar or a dash. But what we actually wanted to do is we wanted to take all of our phrases that we had here and drop them in Scribbles. There we go. So here's our kit, and you can see what just got crossed out. We crossed out a phrase, and we also crossed out the word party, the word theme, the word supplies, and the word jungle. As soon as you have a word in your listing once, you don't have to repeat it. So don't feel like you have to keep wasting, well, you wouldn't know that you're wasting it, but don't feel like you have to keep saying the word jungle theme or party supplies. It's in there once. Amazon knows that it's in there. You don't have to put it 5 more times. It's not going to be any more helpful. It's not going to rank you any better. So you're actually just wasting space that you could have used for other relevant keywords. So we're going to go jungle party supplies, and then we're going to do the next most searched phrase. So jungle party supplies, safari party decorations. Jungle theme party supplies. We already have the word party. So then we're going to go safari decorations. And party balloons, jungle party decorations. We already have party, decorations, and jungle. We could do green, baby shower, party use decoration. And if it's going to be either repeating a word or sounding awkward, just repeat the word, right? Does that make sense? So I'm going to continue filling this title out just for the sake of time. I don't want this to be an hour long. You get what we're doing here, and you're not going to be doing this specific product anyway. So go ahead and do this with your product, and then we'll meet back here with finished titles. All right, welcome back. Here's what we ended up with for our title. So you can see we have jungle themed party supplies, safari animal themed decoration kit. We went with themed instead of theme, and we did wild animals, leave, party decor favors, balloons, animal balloons, leaves, banner, monstera leaves, ivy, birthdays, baby showers. So these are listing what's in the kit, by the way. If you're wondering what that is, it's not an awkward sentence if you kind of understand that. It's balloons, animal balloons, leaves, banner. So that's actually what's included. So there's our title. We've used knowledge of the market to include very specific keywords and very specific phrases in our title so that we can rank efficiently. Amazon knows what it is. The title, especially the beginning of your title, is going to be the most heavily weighted when it comes to your listing. So remember that. Bullet point number 1. So guys, let me show you a quick screenshot or picture of the study that was done on eye tracking for Amazon customers. All right, so check this out. This is actually a study that was done to see where it's heat tracking, to see where customers' eyes are going when they're looking at an Amazon listing. Now, what's kind of funny is they have the arrow pointing to the title and they think they're reading the title, but what they're looking at is this is where the reviews and the seller and the price is. So you can see they don't even make it down the title, very rarely. So this hot area is where people are looking. They're looking at the main image, they're looking at the reviews, and they're looking a little bit at the price. It's funny, they're barely looking at the price. They're looking actually at this one. And then they don't even read the full sentences. So they got down to essentially the first word of each sentence. So we could use that to figure out how to correctly build a listing and what's most important. Because really at the end of the day, we're building a listing for two purposes. We're building a listing for Amazon, and we're also building a listing for the customer. When I say we're building a listing for Amazon, I mean we're building a listing that is ranking from an SEO standpoint for Amazon, right? We need to have certain keywords and certain phrases in that listing so that Amazon knows what that product is. And then we also have to be doing that in a way that it's not just lumped together and doesn't sound very robotic, so that the customer still sees it as an attractive listing. So it's this, we're kind of dancing on this line here. So I thought this would be helpful for you, for all of you who think and get caught up, way too caught up over writing your bullet points. Most people won't even read through the bullet points. Now these are at the top of the page. I guarantee no one even scrolled. And this study that was here is showing that they're really just looking at the first few words. They're looking at mainly the picture, the price, the reviews, and the first few words. So let's go back to our listing and take in that knowledge and then use what we know to create the perfect set of bullet points. All right, so we're back in Scribbles here, and what we can do is, now technically emojis are against, TOS, I'm pretty sure, but what we can do, since we're doing a jungle party supply listing, is actually do a little monkey. So we'll do a monkey for this one, and then we'll actually alternate in, this is how I did it in my real listing, alternate in like a palm tree. So we'll just start off, because what did we just learn, guys? We actually just learned that customers are looking at the first section of the bullet points. They're not really reading out the sections. They're looking at the very initial words in that. Generally, why that happens is you'll get things like features will be brought out right in the beginning. It'll say like perfect for X or what's included, and then they'll read that part. But oftentimes they're not going to read just generic descriptions of a product. Like when you go to, think of it this way, when you go to Apple's website, you buy a new computer, or you go to whatever, wherever you go to buy a new computer, you're going to read maybe the specs of the computer, but you're not going to read all of their like front end page. And let me give you a perfect example of this. So say we wanted to buy a new Mac, right? You want to buy a new iMac. This is the page that I'm talking about, right? So there's the product. Now, most people aren't going to be reading this, right? I don't think I've ever read that. Already looking at that, I'm bored. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to read this. I'm usually not going to read that. Okay, again here. Okay, 1 billion colors, 500 nits brightness. Great. That's all I need to know. Performance, quite the power couple. Okay, I'm going to read this. I'm not going to read this. You see what I'm getting at here? We're reading these little pieces because our brain has quite a short attention span when it comes to things. Most people aren't readers nowadays. Video's awesome, audio's awesome, but most people aren't super attracted to reading. So up to 8 cores. Wow, I know what 8 core is. That's great. Okay, 6 core, and then here's the other one. So that's what you see what I'm getting at here? So when someone's looking at your bullet points, they might not, where are we? They might not be reading, where was that listing we had? Here we go. They might read this, right? That first part, non-toxic, high quality, perfect jungle theme, easy to use Safari party supply. So these are a little bit repetitive, right? So like jungle party supplies, jungle Safari themed decorations, and Safari party supplies, I probably wouldn't do it like that. I would have different characteristics listed there because you're kind of just saying the same thing. And you're just really wasting 3 of those first parts of the title. But notice I didn't even think about reading all the way through here, right? Most people won't. And according to what we were just looking at, here's what the customer looked at. They looked at the main picture, they looked right here at the price and the reviews, and then they read a little bit of this right here, mainly just the first few words. And that's all they're looking at, and then they're going to be, of course, checking out. That would be the end of that process. So let's use that knowledge, create a very beautiful first part for the customer, and then we'll make the rest of the sentence for Amazon so they know what our product is. It's a great place to fit in a lot of keywords. So again, I'm going to be using this keyword bank, as you should be too, to use the most. Ideally, you want to cross out as many as you can. So write this in a way, here's a great way to think of this. Write this in a way where the first part of the sentence is based for the customer, and then after the first 10 words, it's based for Amazon. So you could start using a lot more keywords, and it doesn't necessarily have to be so fluid sounding. It could get a little bit more choppy like what I did with the title to fit in more keywords, because we know most customers won't be reading that. If they do, you have a description, you have enhanced brand content eventually, where you could type out more high quality copy. So again, I'm going to write mine out, and then I'll meet you back here. Hopefully you could do the same. If you're doing this along with me, I'll see you in 2 seconds. All right, welcome back. So we just wrote out our full first bullet point. You notice we have the little emoji. That's great. That'll catch their eyes, quite on theme with the jungle thing. You don't have to do the emoji. Feel free to not do one at all. If there's one that's screaming your name and it's super relevant for a product, like this is a jungle thing, like the palm tree and the monkey, you couldn't get better than that. Looks nice. But notice, here's what we did. So notice I didn't even worry about fitting a keyword in the first 5 words, right? So I was just kind of, what you want to do with copywriting is make the customer imagine they already have your product and that they're experiencing your product. Don't just list features of your product. That's how a good copywriter works. Pitch them the story that's already in their mind. So celebrate in style with a jungle themed party. So notice we got a couple of the keywords in there, but we were mostly focusing on creating what that customer is going to be experiencing when they have it. Celebrating in style, right? So they're clearly thinking about a themed party. Let's get that back in their head. Imagine how nice it would be to celebrate with these cool jungle party decorations. And then towards the end of the sentence, we have prepare for the best party ever with our complete jungle party decoration. So we crossed off jungle party decoration from our list and table kit for an upcoming baby shower or birthday. So we got baby shower and birthday in there. Everything you need for an explosion of jungles, including our jungle safari party supplies kit. Notice how I just crammed in a bunch of keywords there at the end. Now don't try and get your sentence to have every word a color, because it might be super unnatural. Again, we want to have that perfect balance. So I would say that's good. We've included a lot of our main keywords and phrases, but we're also focusing on having quite a natural flowing beginning. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the rest of these bullet points. I would encourage you, now that you understand the principles here, using this these words column and the phrases to make as impactful of bullet points as you can. Try and max them out. This actually isn't true up here, that out of 100 bytes. So feel free to write pretty long bullet points. You can get away with a lot. And then if you copy them over to Amazon, they happen to be a little long, just shorten them up a little bit. So I'm going to write mine out, and then I'll see you back here in 1 second. Okay, welcome back. So we just finished up writing our bullet points out. And again, the key thing to remember is we want to write the first part of the sentence for the customer, because that's where their eyes are. And we want to write the rest of it for Amazon. really you want to find the perfect integration of doing that at the same time. So no part of the sentence should sound robotic or choppy or like it doesn't make sense at all and it's just keywords. It should all be for the customer and it should all make sense. Notice if I were to just randomly pick one of these and read it, right? Jungle animal balloons included to make your jungle safari birthday party or zoo animal baby shower as immersive into the theme as possible. These are often sold as extras at a higher cost, but we include them as a one-stop custom bundle. So in this case, right, I almost did it quite backwards, right? So I included jungle animal balloons, even though it looks like I did that for Amazon, like we've been using that reference this whole time. I actually did that for the customer because one of the main things people were buying on their own were these jungle animal balloons. So I wanted to make sure that right up front I had in my bullet points that they see when they click on my listing comes with the jungle animal balloons. These big balloons that look like animals. They're foil balloons. And then right here, massive 100-piece balloon set of 4 different colored jungle theme balloons, along with 4 10-inch pom-poms, 4 8-inch lanterns, 2 animal swirls, and a balloon arch roll included compared to the tiny 20-piece kits currently sold. Kind of throwing some shade there, but we're doing so while letting the customer know what's in our kit, and we're also including words that are frequently in our banks here. Lastly, what's included. This one's really easy, so this would be a great thing for you to do if you have a bundle or a kit. You just say what's included, and then you start listing everything that's included in your kit. So this is literally everything that's in here. So this one I was doing more towards focusing on the balloons because customers were complaining. So again, I'm building these around my existing knowledge of the customer. Customers were complaining there weren't enough balloons in the other kits. I come in with this listing that has 4 times the amount of balloons in any piece currently sold, or 5 times. Most of them are 20 or 30 balloons. I have 100. So then what's included lastly. And then description here, I've gone ahead and I've written this out. This is going to be very similar. So I'm going to do, again, this is mostly for Amazon. Most customers won't make it down to the description. My description will be getting replaced soon with enhanced brand content. If you have a registered brand, you know what that is, that's okay. If not, I went ahead and filled this out anyway for you. Jungle Safari Party Supplies by Java Products. That's my brand. What's included? Again, so we're just reiterating what's included in case they go down to the description just to kind of see this really neatly. So we've just listed everything that we have listed in there. And then here we go. So you can kind of see how I'm manipulating all these keyword banks to do this. This animal themed, jungle themed, safari themed, zoo themed, you name it, party supplies kit, right? So I'm just bang, 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 keywords, keywords, keywords. So these are all things that I'm indexing for. But did you see how I did it in a way that was almost kind of funny and unique to the customer? I didn't just say this animal theme, jungle theme, safari theme, zoo theme, party supplies kit is a perfect noun. I actually put like a little joke in there. So jungle supply, jungle theme, safari theme, zoo theme, you name it, party supplies kit is the perfect one stop. Add to cart. So we're doing a little bit of NLP here, just saying the word add to cart. Box that comes with everything you need to throw in. I said Amazon. So that's a little typo there. Amazing. Amazing party. We don't want you, and then here's where we can kind of use actual good copywriting. We don't want you running around the day before the party trying to find each piece individually. We handcrafted each piece in this kit, customized to create one-of-a-kind immersive jungle environment. Right, so now this customer is going, oh yeah, that's true, right? This is going to be so much easier to just hit add to cart and put this, I'm not going to be driving around everywhere. So now you're creating this story in their head, right? This is the perfect one-stop box. Add it to cart. You don't have to drive around everywhere. You don't have to go to Party City. It's 20 miles away from your house. Just leave it right here. It'll be here tomorrow. And then this is a Java Products original. Can't wait for you to see the thought and care put into everything from the product itself to the jungle theme box it arrives in. If you want to leave feedback after ordering, we'll be happily waiting to hear from you. Now, go enjoy your party. So that's it, guys, right? I left search terms blank here because I wanted to do that with you. So here's how we're going to do search terms. We're going to head back to Frankenstein. And then what we're going to do is these are our search terms here. So we've already created those. And if you forgot how we did that, the first thing we did was we went to Cerebro to figure out exactly the keywords that our best competitor is ranking for. Now, if you really wanted to do this very meticulously, you could also go search jungle theme party supplies, see what's kicking back there. But I found Helium 10 so good at figuring out what they're ranking for that you get a lot of the same results anyway. So what we've done is we've put in our best competitor's ASIN, who's clearly ranking and doing really well. We've gone export to Frankenstein, We could do that again. We could just restart for you guys. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do one word per line, and then we're going to do include word frequency count, and then sort by frequency. Then what we're going to do is you could take about that many, perhaps slightly more, slightly less. We're going to take that, all the most used keywords, we're going to put them right in our search terms. Now guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to Amazon where we've opened up this category. And now we have our listing built out here. So in Scribbles, we could hit save, right? It's saved. Now all we have to do is go build out the rest of our listing. And then when we get to the hard part, we're just gonna import all of these bullet points, all the description, the title, and we have this all built out already. So it'll be super easy. So now let's head back here. And here's the first step you're gonna get after you click on catalog, add a product, and then add a product not on Amazon. So what you're gonna do is you could actually search for it, right? We could go jungle theme party supplies. Go ahead and hit search. And then they're gonna hit you with a couple of ideas here. Now what I found is best is if you go, again, use modeling to figure out who the best listing is. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to look at where they're ranked. So it'll actually show you they're in toys and games and looks like kids party balloons. So we'll go back here. So toys and games, party supplies, balloons. So, or balloons. So how many? Okay. Yeah, we definitely want to be toys and games. So it looks like that was probably the best one here. Party favors, toys and games, party supplies, party favors. Or we could do right here, toys and games, party supplies, balloons. I think we'll do that one because that's what our best competitors ranking in. Also, don't get too caught up on that because if you do it wrong, Amazon will actually place you in the place where you're getting the most sales anyway. All right, great. So first thing we're going to do, vital info, minimum manufacturer age recommended. So here's something, this will actually be a little bit different for you guys. So depending on what category you're in, don't flip out if this looks different. So it's going to look different for you depending on what category you selected. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to, I think, you would want to be accurate here. I think 3 years maybe. And the product name, this is going to be our title. So we're going to go right back over to Scribbles. We're going to grab our title. Manufacturer is my company. I'm also the brand name. So part number, generally what I'll do is I'll do the I'll do the acronym for the product. So jungle theme party supplies or just jungle party supplies. And I'll go 0001. You could totally do that. That's just how I do my product. So then if I were to launch a second variant of this or a second version of party supplies in this niche, it would be 0002. And it's just an easy way to keep track of it. It really doesn't matter. Just put whatever you want in there. Package quantity. So this is just going to be 1. Theme, we could put jungle, I guess. And again, you might not have some of these, right? So don't feel like you have to do these. What yours should look like is actually product ID will be at the top, right? So we're going to go UPC, and we're going to put our UPC code in there. Let me go get mine really quickly from right here, and then I'll drop it in. So I've just dropped a UPC code in here. This is one that I've already used, so don't use this one. It won't work for you. UPC, you're going to select. If you have an EAN, you could use that too. We're just going to drop a UPC in there. If you're wondering where I actually get the UPC codes, I get them from a company called Barcodes Mania. Barcodes Mania. Right here. You can just buy one. I usually buy 10 at a time because they're only $15 if you buy 10. And then I just have a big cute UPC code bank. So these are GS1 barcodes. They're just like recycled. Okay, so we've done this first page. We're completely done here. All you're gonna really have, you might not have a minimum age. This is because I'm in toys and games. You'll have a manufacturer, this, brand name, part number, package quantity, and you'll have a product ID. Generally, the product ID will be at the top. And then we're gonna go over to offer, because we don't have variations. If you wanna look at what that looks like, it's not even available for this category. Okay, item condition is new. Seller SKU, we could just leave that blank, it'll autofill. Standard price, we're going to put 200, we're gonna put $20, that's totally fine. It's just a mock price, put whatever you want. One thing that you can do is put it a little bit higher than what you expect to sell at. So if I put it at 40, because if you start your price at 9 and then it comes in and you try and switch it to 45, Amazon might say that's ridiculous. You can't do that. You just were selling it at 9. You can't go that high. That's kind of like price gouging, so they'll actually hold you back. So put it high initially and then lower it once you launch. Quantity, we'll do 0 for now because we don't have any. Down here, there will be merchant fulfilled or fulfilled by Amazon. You can go ahead and just select fulfilled by Amazon. I'm not going to at this time because there's currently the shipping ban going on. They'll be over soon, but I'm only able to create the merchant fulfilled, so I don't want to cause any problems while we're making the video. Now again, this looks intimidating. You only have to fill out what has an asterisk on it, guys. So don't go over your head trying to figure out oh my god, what's my tax code, what's blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about it. If it doesn't make you fill it out, you don't have to fill it out. So at the beginning, you can make a very bare listing just to kind of get your barcode and get the listing created, and then go in, and if it asks you for any additional data on it, that's fine. You'll be able to fill that out later. So for instance, let's see, a legal disclaimer. If you want to add one of those in later, or if you have it now, go ahead and do it. You won't have a handling time. Is gift wrap available? You can do that. So import doesn't, again, none of this matters right now. We'll go over to compliance now. Again, we don't have batteries in it. You really shouldn't have to do anything on this page. If you were to list like something like headphones or something, I think like UN 1320 or something like that for like lithium batteries, if you have a product with lithium in it, you will have to do this page. For this product, we're keeping it very simple. We don't have any batteries in it, so there's no really compliance issues. There's no California Prop 65. There's no dangerous goods information that needs to be added. So we'll just go straight to images. Now here's your images. You're going to upload them. It's exactly how it goes. This is your first image, and then second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So I'm going to upload all of our images now, and then I'll get right back to you. So I actually just went ahead and uploaded one. I did that for a reason, because you might not have your images yet, and I don't want you to get caught up on this. If you don't have an image yet, just ask your supplier if you could use one of their Alibaba pictures, and you could go ahead and take your Alibaba supplier's picture and use it as your main image holder until you get professional photography done. So you'll be making this actually before your product has arrived, and you have to actually make a listing before you could even give your supplier barcode. So that's what we're doing right now. So if you only have a placeholder image, like perhaps a supplier's image, that'll work just fine. And again, once you're shipping your product in and you have your photography done, your photographer sends you your photos, go ahead and add all your other photos and even maybe your new main photo. But for now, we'll just use this since it doesn't make much of a difference anyway. Now we're coming over to this place that would have been daunting before. Now we're gonna hit add more until you can't add any more for key product features. And then this is where a description will go. So this is the place where you might have been daunted before. We have all this done already. We did this at the beginning specifically so you'd know how to do this, and then we could go ahead and just copy and paste these right in there. So we're going to do exactly that. I'm going to copy and paste these over to our listing. Okay, great. So I've just copied all of our key product features or our bullet points over into the sections that they're supposed to go into on Amazon. And now that's it. We've done all the hard work. It made it super easy when we came over to Amazon, just put those in really quickly. Now product description. Your description will end up looking all smushed, and it won't be spaced correctly if you don't use HTML. So what that means is we're just gonna come through here, and we could actually just hit copy here. We're gonna go up to Google, and we're gonna search for an HTML editor. It's free, don't worry about it. Click onto this here, and now check this out. All we're going to do is we're going to put in our sorted, how it's supposed to look with the spacing and everything. And then you're going to copy this right here, take all this, copy it. And then that's what we're going to actually go and paste in here. It'll look weird. Don't worry. It looks correct on Amazon. I swear to you. I'm not lying right here. So you need to put this in here in HTML. Again, it looks bizarre. It won't look like this on Amazon. It'll actually show up correctly spaced how it is right here. That's just the HTML for it. Awesome. So now keywords. Guys, this is where we're going to go into our search terms. And again, we have those right here. We've already done those search terms. Copy. What happened? Copied. Okay, great. Now we're gonna come back over and we're just gonna paste those right in here. You don't have to put commas, you don't have to repeat words, just go ahead and put those words in here. And I encourage you to put as many as you can until it tells you to stop. It'll give you a red error message and it'll say you actually have too many. Perfect, so we have our keywords in here. Target audience is probably boys, most likely. That one made you do it. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. You could actually do unisex children as well. Great. And then more details over here. This is where you're going to put in your weight. So for instance, this one I think is about 1.5 pounds. It's your shipping weight, right? And then you come down all the way to the bottom here. This is where you're going to put in your dimensions. Do 18 by 7 by 3 inches, something like that. And again, you would want to put in your exact item dimensions, and then package dimensions is how big the actual box that you're shipping it, the unit in, is. Right. So again, if it's the same size, technically it should be bigger than the item dimensions. Item dimensions are separate, and then that's it, guys. So you're gonna hit save and finish, and then if you have any error messages, it'll automatically tell you what to correct. If somehow you got lost, you didn't fill something in correctly along this process, all you're gonna do is hit save and finish. You're gonna wait about 15 minutes to an hour, maybe all the way up to 24 hours. Then when you go back to Amazon Seller Central, you'll actually see the listing pop up in your Manage Inventory tab. And if it says suppressed, again, don't worry, because possibly what's happening is your picture just hasn't saved yet. Give it a few hours and then check back in on it. If it still says suppressed, then it'll tell you what's wrong and you just fix that. If it doesn't and it just says inactive out of stock, that's perfect, because all that means is it's ready, it's good. Now all you have to do is select send/replenish inventory, and now you can start shipping items into an Amazon warehouse, and this will be the listing that they'll be showing up under. Guys, so I hope you enjoyed this long video about how to create an Amazon listing. I had a fun time making it for you guys. I always like bringing you guys free in-depth content like this. So if you like more content like this, please be sure to subscribe down below. Be sure to leave a thumbs up on this video. If you'd like, over on your right hand side here, there is a button to do a call with me. You can watch another video right here. You can also subscribe. Made it super easy for you right there. So hopefully you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you here next time for another video on the channel. Later.